You can't plan on the injuries, and the Terry injury has really submarined things in a lot of ways. But I was listening to Doc and Toby driving home last night, and they had some callers. You think about what time of night it is for you to be calling into the radio. Yeah. You probably been sipping a little bit.
You twist it. Say it like that.
Well, one dude was like, "Where's the hammer? They need an identity." And in the back of my head, I'm like, I know he's not a stud, but maybe Brian Robinson would help this team. Who knows, right? There's so many questions from a personnel decision-making standpoint. But in no way, and I think if anybody blames Jaden for running around in that moment, I just think you're an idiot. He's going to play his game, regardless what the score is. It's up to coaches to protect him, to not be on the field. And DA, understandably, could not comprehend why Jaden Daniels is on the field late in that game down 31 points. And I think it's a really fair question, man. And I think it's, in a lot of ways, I don't want to say unfortunately, because the discussion points from that game would have been terrible anyway, because the offense could do nothing. They have nothing. You were on some great teams, some good teams, some bad teams. Mm-hmm. When an offense has nothing they can lean on. Have you noticed that? Last year,
like we said, we don't know what the identity is.
Last year, if you had a short yardage situation, I knew what they were going to do. They had that little QB draw where the center and the opposite guard pulled to the right. And if you needed 2, Jaden get you 4. If you needed 4, Jaden get you 6. Like, they could lean on that play out of shotgun, and it worked. And then what Jaden was able to do with Terry and what Jaden was able to do with Ertz on third down, red zone stuff, like that, you had stuff you knew they could run because you knew it could work.
Yep.
This year, what the hell do they have offensively that you know?
It doesn't seem like anything, because I think, what is it? Dan said it maybe 2 weeks ago about them not knowing their identity. And I think at this point, that should be established. And I don't know what it is, man. It's like everyone, and this is nothing against Bill, but wasn't everybody calling for just Bill? And I kept saying, run all of them. And whoever gets a hot hand, stick with them. We've seen McNichols have games. We've seen Rodriguez have games. I think I need to see people like last year, it was more or less they went out, they did what they knew they could do. They didn't care about what nothing was outside. This year, for some reason, it seems like people are listening to what people want from the outside. I'm being honest. Like, we'll go from one guy playing to the next week, he don't see it. You got to just go play football and do what you need to do and not worry about what people are saying and thinking.
There's nothing. All right, so I asked for the YouTube comments. White Brian got me some. Jason Proctor says, Adam Peters on the hot seat for this dog water roster. Robert Wagner says, can the National Guard play defense for this team? They're in town. Maybe they're available. I saw this hater last night from Seattle holding up a sign. What Washington does, shutdowns and losses. And I was like, man, I hate that guy. But you know what? Sadly, he was proven correct by the end of the game.
He lives in Seattle, Washington, though. You got to realize they got more drugs going on in there than they do here. So what the hell he's talking about?
What? The decision to not pull Jaden late in a blowout is going to be the absolute headliner, right? And it should be, because he's by far the most important player on the team. I don't think he should have been out there, period. I don't know if you land there with me or you think it's more hindsight.
I think it's a lot of hindsight. We've seen too many games finish just like that and nobody get hurt. But I understand the mindset. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can understand why people say it, but after playing it so many years, hell, I was in situations like that and playing quarterback in college. I was in league games like that. I watched other quarterbacks in the same position and they didn't get hurt. It's just like I said. You watch how he was thrown, and he just went to brace himself, and boom, that was freak, and ain't nothing nobody can really do about it. But I guess you could say this for those people that want to say it: if he was not in there 100%, he wouldn't have been hurt. But just because he's there don't automatically mean it's going to happen either.
Right. Beyond the Jaden situation, which is hard to bridge that chasm, right? Because the Jaden situation is massive. What was worse, the offense or the defense? It's got to be the defense, but the offense was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we say the defense because the points just pile up, but we knew last year the success we had on this team was the offense would go out there, have these long sustained drives, and get touchdowns at the end. Defense came out fresher. This year you don't get that. A touchdown scored, defense goes to the sideline. Special teams give it back to them, or the offense have a quick drive and they're right back on the field.
Even last night, they tried to switch it up. They took the ball, right?
Yeah.
They've been deferring every time they win the toss. Last night they said, no, we want the ball. We're going to try to change things up.
Mm-hmm.
They get a first down on the first drive. Then there's that Biotish penalty on first down of the next series. And you can argue if that was a bad penalty or not. I thought, if anything, it was a clip, not a blindside block. They looked shoulder to shoulder to me, but now it's
I don't know what football is halftime.
It's so far from relevant at this point.
I watch people get hit in the chest and just like not very hard. They throw a flag. I watch other guys get decapitated and they don't call flags. I don't know what football is.
But they run 6 plays, then have to punt. Of those 6 plays, 0 were carries to running backs. 0.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jaden ran a couple times. Those were scrambles. Those were not designed quarterback runs. He was under pressure all night.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the numbers will bear that out. He was under pressure on more than half of his dropbacks.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting killed all night. I think it's kind of obvious that Jaden doesn't have a ton of trust in his pass-catching weapons at times, but he's also just running for his freaking life.
Mm-hmm. When you take off and you run, you're not necessarily going to be looking down the field all the time, especially if it happens all the time. You will do that early on in games, but as it goes on, if you notice that there's no blocking, there's no separation, I got to just get yours if I can. And his legs and C-Rod legs seem to be helping some. You got to figure it out, man. I just don't want this thing to get to a situation like I used to look at Michael Vick in a sense where he was so talented that it was like, if everything breaks down, make something happen. I don't want that to ever become what it is with him.
And you wonder.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's just such a disaster. I wonder how Kingsbury feel. I mean, remember when it was a foregone conclusion Cliff would get a job this cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still a foregone conclusion?
Don't know.
And I'm not saying it isn't, but I mean, offensively, it's not good. And it wasn't good with Jaden. The stats are kind of skewed, but I mean, I don't know defensively that there's anything you can do. We talk about Washington's offense has nothing that looks easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing they can rely on.
Yeah.
Seattle at one point had a 1st and 25, 2nd and 12, turned into 2nd and 17 and still converted.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, in short yardage situations, was lining up in empty with 5 wide because they couldn't have been less concerned about pressure.
Yeah.
And they knew, singled up, they might have the best receiver in football. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the real deal.
He's good. Yeah.
But it wasn't just in Njigba that was killing people.
Oh, it was everybody.
Torrey Horton last night, 4 for 48 with 2 touchdowns. But they knew 3rd and 6, we'll run Njigba on a slant, it'll get us 12. Like, they had something they could rely on.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
And Washington doesn't have that. And that is an indictment on the front office, on the offense, on the players. Like that is a soup to nuts problem.
Totally.
I don't know what these answers are. It's just remarkable how fast this thing has turned.
It was quick. It was quick.
I was watching.
And look, the thing for me, Jay, I've always discussed when you see a team go through a year, not many injuries, they're coming. I didn't expect them to be coming like this.
No.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the injuries are significant. Nikki Jopvala just tweeted out a post of the games missed, the injury games missed, and it's already surpassing all of last year, I believe, and it certainly will by the time you get to the end of the year and you add up Wise and Eckler, and like these guys are going to miss significant time. Whew.